Hello everyone, and welcome to the Laythrom channel. In our videos, we cover filming tips, tricks, and techniques, equipment and product reviews, and many other things that will help you in the world of filmmaking and photography. Check out our videos and don't forget to subscribe.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Laythrom channel. My name is Matt and today we're going to be covering the 6 tips that every filmmaker should know. So without further ado, we're going to start this off with number 1. And we're going to pretty much start at the beginning here, so we'll try and keep it in order. Now first things first, scrap every notion that you have the most important part of a film or video, short film, feature film, it does not matter, is your story and the characters. Keep that in mind. I can go into a lot of in-depth with this, but in all reality, doesn't matter how many times you have to sit there and write or rewrite your screenplay, your script, your manuscript, your book, whatever you're doing. If it does not involve and it does not have great characters and a great story, chances are you're not going to have a very good film or book or movie or whatever else. After that, I mean, you could technically interchange number 1 and number 2, but number 2, you're going to want to choose like-minded people. You're going to want to get the right people to work with you, to be in your crew or your team or your, whatever you want to call it. You want people that jive with you. You don't want to sit there and constantly butt heads with people. You want somebody that will have the same kind of concepts. Pick a good crew or a good team, a good cast, everything. You are not going to avoid those little issues with people that you really don't get along with. But in hindsight, you want a majority of the people that you work with to work great with you and you work great with them. Check the ego at the door. Numero 3 comes down to pre-production. You never, ever, 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 ever want to skimp out on pre-production, whether it be, previs or storyboarding, getting all your ducks in a row. Nothing is worse. Nothing is worse than a complete and utter cluster gaggle, whatever you want to call it, in a politically correct notion. When you get out on location, you don't want to have mass pandemonium. All that does is drag things along, make people kind of feel uncomfortable, and make you look unprofessional. Don't do it. Get all your ducks in a row in pre-production. There's many different ways you could do that, but basically get everything ironed out before you get there. I, like everybody else, knows and understands that stuff does happen when you get out on location, and you will have issues. But how you think on your feet and how much preparation you did before you even started shooting film will cover your butt when those instances come up. After that, for your number 4 slot, you're going to basically want to show the people that you mean business. I mean, in all reality, you want to show your appreciation, especially if you're a small-time independent on a shoestring budget. You do not have a lot of money to throw around. You can't just hire and fire people like there's no tomorrow. Not to mention, there's a lot of times that most likely you will be, asking people to volunteer their time. You won't be paying them. Or if you are paying them, you will be paying them a lot less money than somebody else. Possibly. I mean, in all reality, $150, $200 a day for, a small-time actor is a lot of money for an independent filmmaker. Even $100 a day is still a lot of money for an independent filmmaker. You want to show your appreciation. You want the talent and the rest of the crew to like you, to respect you. You want to continue to show that appreciation. You don't want to leave a bad taste in anybody's mouth because, heaven forbid, you do come off like that, you don't show your appreciation, they're not really going to want to work with you in the future. That causes a problem, and word gets around, which causes another problem. But we'll get, into more of that a little bit later. Coming down in the home stretch of things that you should keep in mind, little tips and tricks that'll help you along the way, is number 5. That is complaining. Now, everybody complains. It's in our nature. Yes, it'll happen. It doesn't matter what you do. you can be the most liked person on the face of this planet, and you know what, at some point in time, even though most everything goes your way, you will still complain about something at some point in time. Now, with that being said, there are a little bit of things that you need to keep in mind whenever it comes to filmmaking or writing, anything artistic, if you will. If you are going to complain, do it to yourself or do it to somebody you know who is not affiliated with that project. Somebody that you could truly trust, and never ever ever complain while on location, while on set, while at an art gallery, what have you, whatever the situation is, do not complain. Especially when you're filmmaking, we're talking about a lot of hours. Even visual effects, sound production. It doesn't matter the situation. Artistic talent takes time. And when you're putting in a lot of time for little money, the one thing that you do not want to hear as that worker is people constantly complaining. Kind of ties into that whole appreciation thing. Just don't do it. And lastly, number 6 on the things that you need to keep in mind also ties into the whole appreciation and the, don't complain. And it's going to really come down to don't be a dick. Don't be a douchebag. Don't be a bitch. Whatever you want to call it. Do not be that person. Now, you can say, okay, well, it is kind of, the whole appreciation thing and the complaint thing. Why are you even bringing this up? Well, because some people have that lack of common sense at times. Whether it be bossing people around, making things just seem a lot bigger deal than they are. I mean, egos. I said earlier in this video, check your ego at the door. You do not want to come off as this big puffy chest asshole whenever you're on location. You don't want to be like, for good example, I had a camera operator early on, in my endeavors with film that I was working with. Decent guy, but at the same time, he really kind of pushed the wrong button, so to say, especially in lieu of a writer/director spot, which I was filling. And basically, he made the comment to me, whatever you do, do not get in my fucking way. Well, that is being a dick. Doesn't matter if he showed appreciation, didn't matter that he wasn't complaining, it was just straight up, he was just being unprofessional, he was being a douche. He could have very easily been like, hey, do me a favor, I try and stay out of your way, try and stay out of mine. He could have frickin' beat around that bush any way he wished to, made it sound more professional, and just say, hey, can you do me a favor, make sure that, I don't catch you in my lens, or whatever the case may be. But that's pretty much it. Be respectful. If you're respectful and you respect everybody on your team, chances are they will respect you, and everybody will have a nice, humble experience. Now, if you've stuck along long enough to hear me rant and rave through these 6 different things that you shouldn't do as a filmmaker, the 6 tips for filmmaking that you should keep in mind, I will also bring up a video clip that will be down here at the bottom. I really want you to watch Video Game High School Season 3, Episode 6, Behind the Scenes. The video will be down here at the bottom that you can click on and jump right to it. Now, I think it's like halfway through the 10-minute video or 11-minute video, but watch what they do. That's exactly what you really want to kind of emulate. I mean, you have a bunch of people that worked together for a while, and of course they didn't want to leave. They didn't want it to be over. They didn't want it to end. And it was a very heartfelt moment when they finally sat down and realized, hey, this is the end. We're done. We won't be coming back and doing this no more. At least this project. I mean, you even have people that... There's a couple people in there that have worked for the Disney Channel and whatnot that even comment that there's no other place that they've been to at that point in time in their career that they've experienced that was as good as an experience as this. And it's just Freddie Wong and the guys, making decent stuff. But it all comes down to how they treat their people, and that is the moral of the story. But that's all I have for you guys. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, feel free to drop them in the comment box below. I read all of them. Honestly, I do. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I guess I'll just catch you guys later.